What's going on, everybody? It's AquaLeaderJesse back again with another video game news video. Today, it seems we have some more clarification on something that happened with the Xbox reset that's been going on. This comes to us from Video Games Chronicle. Obsidian cancels Avowed 2 to focus on new Fallout. Xbox Studio has reportedly lost around a quarter of its staff. This comes from Andy Robinson. Obsidian has canceled a planned Avowed sequel to begin work on a new Fallout game. Um, Avowed was a game I actually kind of wanted to try, but I never got around to it. Um, but I guess they're working on new. Is there even another new Fallout being worked on outside of 76 by Bethesda themselves? Do we even know that? I don't know. Bethesda doesn't seem too keen on working on new games very much. But that's according to Bloomberg, which claims that studio design director Josh Sawyer will helm the new project after shifting over from another planned RPG, which is said to have been similar structurally and thematically to Fallout. Okay? According to the report, progress on Avowed 2 was going well. It was on track to be announced within the next year. However, it did not fit with Xbox CEO Asher Sharma's new strategy. Avowed had a mixed reception, so I'm not sure. Maybe she thought it might be best to leave that in the dust. I'm not sure. The shift comes as part of a major reset at Obsidian's parent company, Xbox, which plans to lay off thousands of workers and refocus on its biggest franchises. I mean, yeah. Around a quarter of Obsidian's workforce is said to have lost their jobs this week. As part of the cuts, according to WARN Notice in California, seen by GameFile, Obsidian is losing 52 workers, including 43 based in its California offices and 9 in-state remote workers. Obsidian was purchased by Microsoft in 2018, and last year it released 3 games: Avowed, The Outer Worlds 2, and Grounded 2. According to Bloomberg, Obsidian will continue creating content for the latter 2 titles. Because Obsidian is pumping out games like that. Um, so I'm curious if that'll lead to a. I don't know how big of a loss those 52 are. I don't know what percent of the staff that is. Um, but it pumps. It actually makes games. It gets games out the door. So maybe there'll finally be a new Fallout game in the next handful of years that can actually, get stuff out. In a Bloomberg interview with Obsidian head Fergus Urquhart, I'm sorry, I probably butchered that, published earlier this year, implied that Grounded 2 was a big hit for the studio, but neither The Outer Worlds 2 nor Avowed met sales expectations. Xbox owned Bethesda, which stewards the Fallout franchise, hasn't released any new mainline Fallout or Elder Scrolls game in over a decade, which is likely frustrating for its parent company, especially given the popularity of the Fallout Amazon show. Yeah, you'd think they'd have something out to capitalize on that, but Bethesda's head of studios told employees in a note this week that it will restructure around its strongest franchises. Jill Braff said, "To best position Bethesda for future growth, we are shifting from a planning model primarily centered on what's next for each independent studio to one that focuses on our strongest franchises and determining the content roadmap that best serves our players and Bethesda as a whole." So, I mean, I'm not shocked. Bethesda needs to start getting stuff out the door, like for Fallout and Elder Scrolls. Like those franchises are starving. They're relying exclusively on their live service games, Elder Scrolls Online and Fallout 76. But that does not satisfy the hunger that the actual fan bases have for these. But on top of all this, we also had some news coming from Toys for Bob when it came to an interview. I'm gonna pull this from GBA Temp here. Um, I've seen it all over, but Touch for Bob behind the Spire remakes is interested in working in Banjo-Kazooie. The company behind the somewhat recent remakes of both the original Spyro the Dragon remakes, which were handled as a fully remade trilogy, Toy for Bob, um, what was recent? Uh, wait, somewhat recent remakes of both the original Spyro the Dragon remake. That doesn't make any sense. Let me find a different website because that's not here. GameSpot. There's one I can actually read probably. Um, Known as doing more for mascot platformers than Toys for Bob. Yeah, Toys for Bob did the Spyro the Dragon remakes. They did Crash 4. Did they do um, Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled as well? They didn't do the. I know they weren't the ones on the Crash Insane trilogy because that was Vicarious Visions, but um, Anyway, if this new Spyro game that they're working on turned out to be a hit, like hand them Banjo-Kazooie, please, Xbox, you can do it. No one's doing more for mascot platformers than Toys for Bob. Since 2018, the formerly Microsoft-owned studio. Oh yeah, wait, formerly. Are they not still Microsoft-owned? Oh, that's right. They went independent, but they were still just being like contracted with them or something. I forgot about that. But they released the Spyro Reignited trilogy, the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy. They didn't do the Insane trilogy, did they? I swear it was Vicarious Visions. No. Oh, they ported it to Switch. So that's kind of that's kind of misleading. And they did Crash Team Rumble, which I did not play. It did not look interesting to me, to be honest. But invigorating two beloved but largely stagnant franchises. Now, Toys for Bob co-studio head and creative director Paul Yan says the studio has its eyes on another iconic platforming series, Banjo-Kazooie. In a recent interview with Canadian Guy A, which was then reported by Windows Central, Yan discussed Toys for Bob's upcoming projects on top of seemingly teasing a new entry in the Spyro the Dragon series. Yan expressed the team's desire to work with Xbox on bringing back the dynamic bird and bear duo Banjo-Kazooie. One company I'd like to work with is one we're already working with, Team Xbox. They've been a great partner, and they also have a very interesting roster of characters that Toys for Bob could have a lot of fun with. The Honey Bear is the first one that comes to mind. I think we can all agree Banjo's been hibernating long enough, right? Though this certainly doesn't mean a Banjo-Kazooie remake or reboot is already in the works, obviously. This is just saying that they would like to. Twitch for Bob's past work and relationship with Xbox makes this collaboration seem more like a matter of when than if. It You would think so, but Xbox has been leaving Banjo-Kazooie to rot forever. Um, as the light is shifting, I gotta shift my light. Despite the studio breaking apart from the Microsoft-owned studio Activision back in 2023, it has continued to work closely with Xbox and is currently collaborating with the company on an upcoming project that many speculate to be Spyro the Dragon 4. When is this from? Oh, this is from last year. Didn't they have a new one like super recently? Okay, here we go. That was the wrong interview. Toys for Bob studio head Paul Yan, associated creative director Louis Sutter, speaking on the Kinda Funny Games cast, revealed they love Bear's Banjo Kazooie series and will be interested in making a new entry. The franchise we love, they said via Pure Xbox. As platformer fans, we're Banjo's top of the heap. We have some huge fans of that franchise on our staff. I'm talking they've got the Jiggy as their profile pic kind of thing. They're that level of fan. If the opportunity ever arose, it would be amazing. We love the franchise. If you look through the types of games we like to make, I imagine that's part of the staple as well. I think of those characters as timeless. They're iconic, and I think the types of games we want to produce are the ones that speak to a timeless place in the player as well, an ageless place. We call it the inner child. So I think they're wonderful games. We're huge fans. Christopher Bob is currently developing Spyro: A Realm Beyond. It will launch for the Nintendo Switch 2, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X/S, PC, and Xbox Game Pass in spring 2027. The last new entry in the Banjo-Kazooie series was 2008's Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts for the Xbox 360. The first two entries, Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, were released for the Nintendo 64, 1998, and 2000, respectively. Don't forget, you also have Grunty's Revenge on the Game Boy Advance. But yeah, Nuts and Bolts was a very divisive entry to say the least. Had a mixed reception. But yeah, give Toys for Bob the keys. I'm sure this Spyro game is gonna be great. And when it is, hand them the keys to Banjo, please. You're not doing anything with it, and it's a guaranteed sale. That's a franchise with a name on it. And for the developer that can get that game out, please. I have full belief that Toys for Bob can do this. Xbox needs to start getting games out the door. Get this Fallout game out the door from Obsidian. Once we get the Spyro game out the door, get a Banjo Kazooie game out the door by by halfway through the next generation. They should be able to do that, right? I feel like that's a realistic time frame probably for them. Hopefully, I hope. They once they start getting these games out, especially if they put them on a physical disc, PlayStation. Um, I don't. I still don't think Xbox is gonna have a disc drive, but that's for a different video. Xbox needs to take advantage of PlayStation's weakened fan um, belief. Like people are more than ever are willing to jump ship for the next generation. They need to take advantage of that. If they include a disc drive as well, that'll definitely make some people like me. If there's a disc drive on the next generation Xbox, I'm buying it. Assuming that it's not like scalped out the wazoo, if I can actually find it somewhere, I am buying it. And assuming they're actually putting games on the discs as well. It's not one of those where there's a disc, but then you still have to download the game off the internet. Give me the actual game on the disc. Do that, and you have a sale from me. I will support physical media until the day I die. The only reason I haven't bought a current Xbox because they haven't put out anything worth buying an Xbox Series X4. Literally, they got Forza going, and that's it. Hopefully, this new Gears of War game is good. We'll see. Excuse me, but we need physical media to stick around. And if they do have a disc drive, if they put that disc drive in there, I don't think they will. I'm just saying right now, I do not think that's going to happen. But if they do, I think that is their best chance at possibly outselling PlayStation. Because I know tons of people who have a PlayStation 5 and not an Xbox Series X that are physical people. I wonder what is the. While I'm just in this discussion, is there what percentage of Xbox game purchases are physical? Over 90% of Xbox game sales are digital. Less than 10% are physical. The United States, from early 2024, was already saying only 9% was physical. And then for PlayStation, I know they're saying 15%. That's still not a huge jump, but it is almost double. It is like a 2/3, like a 66% jump. That's just off of the people that actually buy, like off of just the physical sales. This is assuming that all these people are buying things exclusively that way. Well, your average for 2025 was 78% digital, 22% physical. I assume Xbox's percentage has only gone down because like Xbox, pretty much everybody's on Game Pass. Well, at least they were. But yeah, the that's still a good amount. Like if 15% of sales are physical, that's again not including that there are people that do both, right? There's like I've made some digital purchases. There's sometimes where I already own a game in some fashion, or it's just got like a really good deal on the eShop or something. And it'll be on the Switch. Like I'll sometimes pick them up if I can get them cheap enough digitally. But for the most part, I'm a physical person. But there are more people that are. I think there are a lot of people that are likely to jump ship over to Xbox if they're able to keep the physical copies around. Um, and there are people who are digital people that still hate that they're going full digital on PlayStation. I think there are a lot more people as well that don't buy as many games that go physical. Like I don't think I've bought as many games physically for the PS5 as I have for the PS4. Because also there haven't been as many games I've been interested in on there. But I don't know. This is somehow turned back into the physical versus digital thing. Xbox, this is your chance. That's what I'm saying. PlayStation has been struggling on the first-party output. They haven't been putting out, at least by comparison to PS4 generation, they've been struggling on the first-party output. Still have y'all, but this is your chance to turn it around with this reset. With the amount of people that are being laid off and studios that are being severed. Granted, I'm still happy that they're able to open independently and keep their IP. That is really good. I do like that part. But please make it worth it. Make it count. Asha Sharma, our eyes are on you. Please make this into something worthwhile. Get these games out that people actually really like. You said that's your priority. I want to see that in action. I want to see good games coming out on Xbox to make me want to buy one. I only bought an Xbox One. I got it pre-owned years later just so I could play the Master Chief Collection again because I didn't have any Xboxes at the time because my mom kept our original and our 360. And I could just play it all off of the one disc on an Xbox One S that I was able to find pre-owned in the neighborhood from somebody. And I think outside of that, what else did I even play on there? I played Cyberpunk at first when it first launched, and it was terrible. And then I did some backwards compatibility stuff like Star Wars Battlefront 2. I played a lot of it on this channel. You can do that. But for the most part, I didn't really use it that much. Oh, I did Sea of Thieves as well. I did that digitally because it's a live service game. I'm not going to be able to play it with just the stuff off the disc anyway. And I had Game Pass at the time. I used Game Pass to test out games. I used it on that. All that being said, I think I'm rambling on long enough. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Make sure you follow me on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/AquaLeaderJesse, where all my videos are recorded first, but they'll always be uploaded here afterwards. Don't you worry. Thank you and have a good day. Bye.